firstly, for James, leading into this test, only 4 days away, what's the feeling around the camp ahead of this first Bledisloe?
Yeah, the feeling's been good, mate. Obviously, off the back of our 3 tests against France, we're really enjoying each other's company. We're working hard, we're training hard. We've clearly worked on our game since the French series, which we needed to do, and we've come over here a little bit earlier due to COVID, and it's forced us to I guess leave our homes and connect and as a group, and we're really enjoying ourselves, mate. And we understand how big this game is, so we're pretty excited by it.
Coming off a win like that, obviously 3 really tight games, you have a lot of young kids in this squad. Have you noticed a shift in their attitude, a shift in their belief heading into Saturday?
Look, I always thought we had that belief in the group going into that French series. That French series was it was interesting because we could have easily won each game, all 3 games, and we could have easily lost all 3 games. But I think the character we've shown, especially in that last game, was really pleasing, and I did see the uplift in the players after that game. So as a group, we're in a good spot. As I said earlier, we're working hard, we're training hard, and we've got another opportunity to play again for our country, and that's really important to us.
So with the schedule being confirmed, I mean, back-to-back games at Eden Park is a tougher order. Sort of, is it? I know looking at the stats, it seems like the Wallabies, I think it's about 14-point difference between losses between Eden Park and any other New Zealand venue. Is there something different that sort of playing at Eden Park against the Carriers as opposed to those sort of other venues, or what do you put it down to?
Look, it's I guess people put it down to a bit of a hoodoo stadium for us. Look, it's clearly hard. It's a hard place to win, and I think anywhere in New Zealand's hard. We haven't had the greatest record here in New Zealand over the past few decades. So for us, it's we clearly got 2 games now in New Zealand off the bat, and it doesn't really change much for us. We always had to win 1 game here to win the Bledisloe. So our thinking hasn't changed. We're going to try and win every game we can, and we understand what we're up against. It's just about I guess taking our opportunities and putting the All Blacks under pressure. I think regardless of where you play, if you play your best rugby, it'll give you your best chance of winning. So that's solely what we've been focusing on. But yeah, you're right. It's a tough place to play. I've been on the back end of some bad losses there, so hopefully this weekend it's a good one for us.
So is it almost exciting knowing that you guys could end that 35-year hoodoo at Eden Park? Does that give you sort of more motivation?
Oh, mate, I've had motivation for over 10 years now to win there. So I guess every year you get a chance to play there. There's always seems to be 1 game at Eden Park, and it's a great venue. It's great for the fans. It's great for New Zealand rugby, and probably not so great for us. But I've really enjoyed every game there. It's a true test match, and that's what I really enjoy about it. But I couldn't think of anything better than winning at Eden Park. But a lot of I'm not going to sit here and say we're gonna do it this game. I'm going to hopefully come out after the game and say it.
Matty, can I ask you about your own role and your own form in the team through the first few games, mate? How have you sort of found working with, I suppose, a different 10 in Noah and your form sort of through the July series, mate?
Yeah, it's been good actually playing with Noah. I think we probably saw him develop a lot in those 3 tests. I think he did really well to close out the games. When we won those, the first and third tests, he was crucial to that scoreline. So, being alongside when you're at 12, you have a little bit of a different role. You maybe not the maybe a bit more the bridesmaid, I think, at times. So you're just helping out a little bit and giving communication, showing space and stuff like that. And that was I enjoy that role as well. I enjoy playing 10. I enjoy playing 12. So I don't mind either one. I think. I had a little bit of a limited preparation into it, so I was happy that I actually got out there and got the opportunity to represent my country again, which was great.
Do you feel it's a credit to the backs in general that the team, I suppose, attacked the tier 8 a little bit when you and James weren't available last year, but to throw in a few different guys at key positions 9 and 12 and still come out with a cohesive sort of unit and get results. Like, what does that say about the depth of the squad going into a TRC, a Bledisloe?
Yeah, I think it's probably not spoken about enough, to be honest. I think if you look at the guys who we either had on the sidelines or injured or whatever, there was a lot of inexperience out there in terms of our backline. And, to ultimately just get a result was very pleasing. Those results go, they live in the memory bank a little bit, and they allow belief later on in certain tournaments or certain games that we can do it with certain guys in position. So huge for us. We debuted a few guys, and we got a few starts there, first time ever. And I said Noah's probably a really good example of that. He played 80 minutes all 3 tests, and was the highest point scorer. Very pivotal in terms of us getting the win.
Matty, what about yourself, mate, on Eden Park? What's your memories and experiences over at Eden Park?
Oh, probably same as James, because considering we've been on the same team. Look, it's a great place to play. It's pretty much, I think every country kind of has whether it be like a spiritual home or whatnot, that, either they get more excited or other teams find it a little bit harder to win. I think we like playing at Suncorp for whatever reason. There's something in the water up there, and then there's something here in Auckland as well. And I think, traditionally we've played the third Bledisloe here, and often it's 1-1 and it's a big game, or the Kiwis have a few guys retiring and stuff like that. And it's not just us who have found it tough to win here. I think there's a lot of teams that have been on the other side of a handy defeat. So look, we enjoy it, as it is a tough challenge, one of the tougher ones in the world. But as one of the guys mentioned earlier, once we have that opportunity to break it, it'll be ever so sweet.
Slips, can I ask you too, mate? What's it been like having Quade back in around the...
Mate, personally, it's just good to have someone who's older than both me and Matt, just to lift the average age in the squad. It's been good. But on a personal note, I think he's been great. For players like Noah and some of the other younger, similar positions, it's been invaluable, really, to have someone of Quade's experience in and around the group in the squad. And one thing, he's got a lot of experience, but at the same hand, he's in great nick too. He's ready to play himself. So he's not just filling up the numbers, mate. He's really making an impact at training and making himself very known and heard throughout the group. So overall, it's been really good to see him back. I think he's really enjoying himself.
And mate, I take it that there's still plenty of hunger and drive there, desire, fire in the belly for him too?
Yeah, I think he came out the other week and said that he was just really happy that he's given another opportunity. It's been clear that he's been working hard behind the scenes, playing in Japan and applying his trade over there for the last 2 years. So I think for Australian rugby, it's great to have someone of his calibre back in and around the team. I still believe he's got plenty to offer the group. Whether that's squad mentality or even playing himself. So he's really big for our game.
And
what's Quade brought training wise, I suppose, in terms of working with the fellow backs there?
Yeah, Quade's ability to see space is I think, and everyone here would probably agree on his day, he's best in the world in terms of seeing space and exploiting that, and he's definitely in form at training at the moment, and how he sees the game and reads the game. It's been great for guys like myself and Noah and Hunter to just see what he's thinking. He understands it really well, the flow and effects if you punch tight and where the seams are and stuff like that. So he's he often gets labelled as someone who's really off the cuff and doesn't know what he's doing, but he has a really good grasp of space and the influences certain players have, and it's been kind of good to pick his brain, to be honest.
It's so rare to be able to play 2 in a row there. Is there any advantage in a sense that normally if it's just a one-off, I guess it's just so hard to win, but to have time to settle, and if the first one doesn't go right, that you can actually make some adjustments? Is there anything to that at all? Is there some sort of silver lining there?
I don't know.
I guess you get 2 cracks at it, because as Matt said you normally only play there once every year, so yeah, I guess there's a bit of merit to it. You know, we get 2 cracks at playing the All Blacks at Eden Park. I think it just comes down to we've just got to make sure we play our best game. If we're going to have a chance of winning this game and putting the All Blacks under pressure, we've got to play well ourselves. So I think it's you know, I don't think it matters too much where we play. I think if we're going to have a chance of winning this cup, it's really on us and us playing well.
And how much is on the mental game, I guess, when you go to a venue where the results haven't gone your way? How much of it is a mental battle to overcome?
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit, obviously, and I think there's a mental aspect to any game you play. I think one positive side of this group is it is a fairly new group, so maybe those scars don't run so deep. At the same time, I don't think anyone's going there, naive or anything. This is a place that All Blacks love to play, and they play very, very well here. However, as we said, we've got kind of the ignorance of youth, which is quite a benefit to us in a way, and we've working on our own peace and belief and stuff like that, and ultimately that's what you've got to do. You can't read too much into the storyline or the narrative. As athletes, you've got to just focus on your job, which, as boring as it sounds, it's the correct way to approach it.
And James, we spoke to Alan yesterday, and he was talking about the scrum and whatnot. He said you guys don't want to just compete, you want to go out there and dominate. Can you talk a bit about that sort of a mindset where it is a winning mindset there?
Well, I think you'll have to bring it back down to Test match rugby, and what's going to win you that Test match is probably a clinical set piece. That's something we always strive for, and I feel like during the French series we did a lot of good work there in the set piece. Not only our scrum, but I thought our line out and maul really stood up as well. So I think Alan's hit it on the head there. It's we're not going out there to I guess just be making up the numbers. We want to be putting our backs in really good positions and putting the All Blacks under pressure, and that's what we plan to do, and that's what we're training to do.
Cool. Thanks, guys, and good luck.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Anything else, guys?
Can't ignore the fact that we don't have a Super Rugby competition locked down for next year. I wanted to ask James and Matt, as senior Wallabies, what their preference is for next year format if the borders are open.
Look, I think we've seen benefits of the Super Rugby AU in the sense that we've had a lot of young guys be blooded through that. I would love to have the Kiwis involved some shape or form. Minimal time zone changes would be ideal. I think that's easier for crowds and supporters to follow. So I think if you work off that as a principle, localised games, similar times, less travel, that seems to be a recipe for success if you look at all other sports in different codes or whatnot. I think we probably let it get away from us a little bit, and different time zones, different countries, and it just made it hard on supporters to follow and support your team. Whereas I think localising it really, it brings the fans back, brings that tribalism back, brings those rivalries back. You're not guessing who you're playing against. So, whether that be domestic or semi-international with the Kiwis, obviously, I think there's a desire for us to work together in that sense. But it's the borders that might have the final say.
Anything else, guys?
Can I just ask a related question on the borders? We saw the All Blacks getting vaccinated last week. Are the Wallabies vaccinated as well? And was there any hesitancy around that and any members of the group?
No, we got vaccinated last week, and we encourage everyone else at home to get vaccinated as well. I think that's the only way we're going to get out of this. So we've had our first shot. I think we'll have our second shot when we get back. We're very privileged that we were able to do so because we know we're in short of supply. But anyone out there who can do it, please do it.